You're watching CK Media's CK News, brought to you by me, Charles Kane. Today, filming in front of a boat. And, the docks. It's a nice place. Facebook, as I'm sure you know, if you've used it for any sort of news or political stuff, like this, Facebook has been described by the New York Times as one of the world's most powerful political editors. A huge number of terrorist groups, hate speech posts, and political fake news is posted on Facebook every single day. And not to mention the killings and suicides and some of the other darker stuff that is also posted on Facebook's live stream. Facebook has a real problem with policing it all. You might have heard about this group called Proud Boys. It's an example of the extreme sort of political groups that can pop up on Facebook. I mean, here's just a selection of their ethos, which I thought is rather extreme, to say the least. I mean, due to a paperwork error, a terrorist group in Myanmar called Mabatha was allowed to stay on the website for months and months and months. And they inspired genocide in the country. They've inspired violence in the country since 2014, have only recently been taken off. Other small groups that are just like that one keep popping up around Facebook, here, there and everywhere. The same can be seen with Proud Boys, which was also recently taken off. But there are other ones that you can see here, like I think there's a Canadian one, some other ones. It's mad. I mean, it's so difficult to police that sort of situation that even good things on Facebook are affected by it, such as the volcano victims in Indonesia. A fundraising campaign was then taken down because an associated co-sponsor of them was related to one of the banned groups that they've got on their list of no-go groups that have joined Facebook. Currently, the way Facebook deal with this problem is that they have a 200-page book filled with jargon that is given to unskilled workers based from outsourcing companies.
Yay! It's a miracle! They moved our factory to a third world nation!
Now I have more time to play the lottery! Ka-ching!
Hey, America, why not let some of the other countries carry their share of the load? You can, with the best kind of sourcing, outsourcing.
That were hired from call centers, most of them anyway, apparently. And because of this, they interpret the situation based on what they've recalled from this 200-page document in only a few seconds. I mean, these guys have 2 billion people's posts, well, the ones who are posting anyway, to moderate, and they've got to recall all that stuff so quickly as to get through all the quota. So a lot of things go missing. Well, a lot of things aren't properly judged. Due to Facebook having posts from all over the world, in all different countries, it means that the languages are going to be different to the ones that the moderators are known to themselves. And so they rely on Google Translate, which, to be fair, has been improved over the last number of years, but unfortunately, for languages that aren't French and Spanish, such as Kurdish or, other Eastern languages, it's extremely difficult to get the true meaning behind the message posted, especially if they're using sort of slang or dialects, and then to be translated for the moderators to understand. In the document, Facebook tries to determine whether the words such as martyr and jihad are used in a context that promotes terrorism, and if so, those kind of posts are put into a 3-tier system based on severity. Even general words such as brother and comrade are deciphered, are interpreted in this way, and there are guidelines even for those types of words. There's even guidelines for certain emojis that show up on the system. Every Tuesday, a group of Facebook employees gather around a table, some of them lawyers, some of them moderators, and they try to determine new rules and edit the existing rules for that 200-page document. So the rules are constantly changing. So I'm surprised how these chaps out of the call centres are having this ever-changing document, which I'm sure is extremely complex to try and put into play. Who's a good boy? Should we get a new place? Yeah, let's get it. A counter-terrorism agent who works with Facebook said that things would be a lot easier if there was an authoritative third party who had the answer to these kind of situations. That agent also said that sometimes these things explode really fast, and we've got to figure out what our reaction is going to be, Facebook, quickly, and we don't have time for the UN. An anonymous moderator who doesn't want his identity to be revealed said that sometimes you feel like you've killed someone by not acting. You know, we all know how many terrorism incidents have happened over these last couple of years, and I mean, when people want to get together, usually they'll use social media. So this is a prime target. Sarah Sue, a senior engineer of the newsfeed, said that you've got to balance safety and free speech at the same time. Mark Zuckerberg knows that this is an issue, and in fact, he invited 5 social media professionals to come to his own private residence in Palo Alto to have a dinner with him to discuss all of the sort of situations and problems with moderating, trying to look for some sort of solution. As a Facebook user yourself, if you are one, you probably are, if you're on the internet, you might have come across some extremist content in your time, maybe jumping from page to page. I mean, I've run into a sort of jihad, sort of some Taliban-related website. I mean, I didn't really understand it, to be honest, because it was written in Arabic, and I don't speak Arabic. But there's a lot of the stuff out there, and so you can see how it could be a real risk to national security, international security. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Facebook, and I think it's a fantastic community tool with so many good uses. If you care about the terrorism issue in general, and you want something to be done about it, I mean, that's great. We can use our friend democracy to our advantage. Send a letter to your local politician explaining that Facebook should be made to use more of their $5 billion profit towards moderation for the national security and safety of our countries. I mean, if you don't feel like making a letter yourself, I've got a template that I've linked in a Google Doc that basically you just need to change around the words for Dear Sir or Madam to Dear your politician of your area. Down there is some good words that you can send to your politician with some suggestions on things that they could do to improve the situation with Facebook and work with them so they can improve on our safety as Facebook users and people of the UK, US and wherever else you live. To do is just email it to your politician. Make sure you've put your name and address on there so they know that you're from their area or constituency. And then just wait for a reply. Hopefully, you know, if one politician does something about it, they can mention it in Congress or Parliament and something might get done about it. Thank you for watching. It's been great. And we're off now. I'm gonna get a drink or something. Who knows? See you later.